Assalamualaikum and good day. I bid to all the viewers out there. My name is Puan NORHANIM AYUNI BAHAROM, representing SMK DATO ISMAIL PUTEH Kelantan. The book that I have chosen for today's recension is a best-selling book by Nur Hafsah Hamid, and the title given is Letters to God. This book has received Best English Novel Award in 2019. It was published in 2018 by Iman Publication. The author's name, Nur Hafsah Hamid herself, used to serve as a Shariah lawyer. So before this, she has written many books, and all of her books are mostly written under the theme of spiritual. And the titles include Dear God, Trying to be Muslim, and Back to Basics. When I first noticed this book at the bookshop, what caught my attention was the letters itself, which is highlighted on the first page or the cover page. And also, I noticed that there's a university name here, Reading University. It is a world-class and a very popular university in the United Kingdom. So somehow, by looking at the cover itself, it gives me the idea that this book will highlight how life is like as a Malaysian student who is studying in the United Kingdom. So I really want to know about it, and also I want to know how can I make my prayer to Allah more elaborated. So definitely this book is a good choice for me. As the writer herself used to study in the United Kingdom, that's the reason why this book really portrays clearly about the experience of the students abroad. So by reading this book, I was being shown clearly about the life in the UK. Okay, briefly about the synopsis of this novel. The main character of this novel is Sarah. She's a young girl, a Muslimah, who is studying alone in the university, and she decided to run to God in trying to find her footing in a very challenging world. She studied law at University of Reading in the United Kingdom. As UK land is so much different compared to Malaysia, with a lot of influences, be it good or bad, it may shake up one's faith. So she chose to write to Allah for solace instead of praying directly, like how we always do after our prayer 5 times a day. She also portrayed the other side of life abroad that can also be depressing at times without sufficient support from peers around. When there's no one around, she turned to Allah for the source of courage. While others may choose to speak to Allah, she used pen and paper. She write letters to pour her out to Allah. Sarah's writing is very soft, very pure, and when I read it, I was able to relate and reminded that we are nothing without Allah. And what I particularly like about this book is the meaningful sharing of the verses in the Quran. It is not just a novel, but also it includes Al-Quran verses and hadith at the end of every chapter, where it can be related to what is happening in that particular chapter. And there is also notes, if I'm not mistaken, after chapter 26, where you can be helped in understanding Quran better, and of course this makes your reading more reflective. Anyway, it is a good book to be read because of few reasons. Firstly, from the perspective of ourselves as a slave of Allah, Sarah shows what we have to do, what is fundamental in life, which is to get ourselves closer to Allah, our Creator. In our good or bad days, we need to stay close to Him. When we face difficulties, we should communicate with Allah in any means. We should seek help from Him, we should ask for His mercy, and we should thank Him for every little blessing He showered upon us. Secondly, Sarah highlights one attribute of Allah, which is Ya Sami, the all-hearing, which is the best listener. Believing in this attribute can lift us up spiritually. Like Sarah, she relied to Allah to build up her mental and spiritual strength as a Muslimah in a very challenging environment. I will also recommend to all of my students out there to read this book. Not only it can increase our iman, I personally believe that this book can potentially give motivation to students by knowing more about Malaysian students' life in the universities abroad. From the language perspective, I believe that as an English teacher, I think this book can help students in improving their reading and writing skills, because it is an easy reading and not that difficult. From the perspective of language, I believe that this book is an easy reading. Students can improve their language skills better, and especially in English language, you can see and you can learn a lot of vocabulary that will help you to improve yourself, especially in writing. And also the writer teaches a lot about how to survive and make life better, simply by making a simple act or simple speech that can build up our good relationship with others. These things can make and bring back good in our life. With that being said, I really recommend this book to be read by all of you. Letters to God by Nur Hafsah Hamid. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.